Welcome to the Salt Lake County Republican Party broadcast, your online source for party business, news, events, and where we keep the republic one broadcast at a time. Howdy, folks, and welcome to the Salt Lake County Republican Party broadcast. I'm your co-host and producer, Nathan Ricks, Legislative District Chair for House District Number 40 of the State Legislature for the GOP, and I've got here the County Party Treasurer, Dr. Thomas Young, and the Republican nominee for Congressional District 2, see, I'm bad at this today, Celeste Maloy.
Oh, thanks for being with us.
I'm happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me to be on, and for giving me an opportunity to remind you that I'm running to represent District 2.
2? I'm in District 3, I think. No, District 3 is the other side? 4? I'll get this one day. Trust me.
You're in 4.
It's John Curtis's district, and everyone's wondering whether he's going to run for the Senate. So everyone has been talking about District 3 this week. I can see why you could get confused.
Well, thank you for giving me the way out.
Does John give you insights on his plans?
He does not.
I got a first question for you.
Okay.
You're given an elephant.
Yeah.
Can't give it away and you can't sell it. What do?
Why is somebody giving me an elephant?
Because you're a Republican.
Are we talking about a live animal here?
A live animal.
And I can't give it away and I can't sell it? I guess I buy a bunch of elephant feed? I don't know.
It's our icebreaker.
Okay. Well, I think I botched it pretty thoroughly.
So you would totally take care of it.
I mean, I guess that's my only option. If I can't give it away and I can't sell it, I suppose I could try to eat it. But that's, the whole eating an elephant one bite at a time thing. I don't know. My freezer's not that big.
Funny. Yeah. All right. A couple questions for you. I know we only got you for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Is federalism dead in D.C.? What can be done?
I don't think it's dead. Obviously, it's not as healthy as it ought to be. I would like to see federalism be much more robust, but it is still a conversation all the time, which I think means it's alive. The problem is that federalism limits the federal government's authority, and DC is the wrong place to enforce that because most entities don't like to limit their own authority. And so it's the states that have to keep federalism alive. It's the states that have to keep reminding the federal government that it can't overstep its bounds. I believe in federalism. I'm going to do my best to stay out of state issues. But the entity that has broad jurisdiction is the states, and the states are going to have to keep reminding the federal government of that.
You're a good listener, so I'm...
I hope so.
I'm sure you'll get used to hearing from state lawmakers and others about, hey, this is the state's responsibility.
Yeah, that's important. You can't just say it. You have to actually do it. In fact, I was in St. George this week at the interim sessions and went in and made sure all of at least the majority caucuses have my cell number because I can't listen to them if they don't know how to get a hold of me. So I'm trying to start this off the right way and make sure that, the people who are competing with the federal government in the realm of federalism know how to get a hold of me so they can call me and tell me if they think I've crossed that line.
I'm curious, so you are so unique. I don't think, have we ever had a incoming congresswoman or man that has as much inside knowledge as you, right? Most come from a mayor's background or from the private sector, or they come from the legislature, but you have been on the inside for a long time. I don't know how long, but what I'm trying to get at,
it's not forever.
What I'm trying to get at is, how it works.
Yeah.
When you hear an idea that seems like a good idea, but probably in the back of your mind, that's not doable. There are some things where it can't be done.
Yeah. I mean, even the common person like me can get on and can find you testifying in front of congressional committees. On various issues. So
I only did that once. And I did it as a deputy county attorney from Washington County, and I will tell you, it's actually pretty terrifying. When you watch those hearings on YouTube or on TV, everybody always looks so calm, like they know what they're doing. You only get 5 minutes to give your testimony, and then they have like 15 minutes to ask you questions. And it is, you don't know what people are going to ask, and you do know some of them are going to be hostile, and it's a lot scarier than it looks. Anyway, I just thought you might find that interesting.
Have you seen that Clarence Thomas video where he's being interviewed by then Senator Joe Biden?
No.
And Joe Biden's asking him questions that I couldn't figure out what he was asking. And
That happens a lot.
Clarence Thomas's response was, this is after the fact, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know what he was asking. But what you do in a congressional setting is you say, yeah, I understand. I'll think about,
Yeah.
It's funny.
Because you can't treat the members of Congress like they're idiots, even if they're being idiots when you're the one testifying, because you're in their house. So I'm glad he handled that well.
Next question.
Okay.
I often hear, let's get rid of the DOJ or the Department of Education, or
Yeah.
you, among all the candidates, you would know what's actually doable versus not doable. What can actually be done at the federal level in regards to the growth and the bureaucracy?
So this is one of the things I've spent a lot of time talking about on the campaign trail, because I've heard a lot of candidates for president and for Congress talk about getting rid of agencies. What I've never seen is anyone actually get rid of an agency. And I think the reason they can't and don't is because every agency was created by Congress and they have a statutory mandate to do something. So people talk about getting rid of the agency and then they run into that statutory mandate and then it just sort of fizzles. But the problem I see is that agencies grow much bigger than their statutory mandate. They're created to do something, but then they start doing a lot of other things, and they want their budgets to grow, they want their missions to grow, and they just keep creeping outside of their missions. So what I think is doable is trimming agencies back to their statutory authority. Go look at the law that created them, see what they're created to do, and then defund the things they're doing that aren't within that authority. And I actually think that solves most of the problems that people want solved when they talk about getting rid of agencies. I rarely hear somebody complaining about an agency doing what they were created to do. It's almost always agencies reaching outside of that authority and doing things that they were never supposed to be able to do in the first place. So it would solve a lot of the spending problems and a lot of the government overreach problems if we just put agencies back in their statutory boxes.
You're picking a fight.
Yeah.
A little
bit, but it's a winnable fight, I think. And, I'm willing to pick fights that are completely partisan, but I don't think this one is. I actually think getting agencies back into their statutory authority is now a bipartisan issue, and it hasn't been so much in the past. Traditionally, I think Democrats are much more willing to trust agencies and leave it to experts to manage things, sort of the whole progressivism New Deal model, and Republicans are much more suspicious of that. But I think in recent years, Democrats have learned to have a healthy distrust of the executive branch, which we've always had. So as long as these interests are aligned, I want to use that to get the balance back between the branches of government.
Yeah, you talk about the New Deal, the movement towards technocracy and technocrats towards the early 20th century. So yeah, I'm on board. I understand what you're saying. I got it.
Yeah, and it just hasn't proven to be as effective. I mean, I think in the 1940s, people thought, yeah, if we have experts running these agencies, they'll take good care of us. But we now have 80 years of experience to show that isn't really how it works. It's just that people amass power and want bigger budgets.
I heard one delegate tell me, boy, Celeste, she knows a lot. Yeah, she is a technocrat. And
yeah,
that delegate was in a derogatory term saying, hey, technocrat. But I mean, what I'm hearing you say is, well, I know how it works. It's a good idea to have someone that is going to actually take on the technocrats.
I get asked about this all the time, and I think it's a fair question. I have spent a lot of my life working in public service, and I've spent the last 4 years working in Congress. But I don't view myself as an insider so much as someone who's been there fighting on behalf of Utahns, and now I know how to do it. I wouldn't consider myself a swamp creature, but I'm someone who's now learned how to survive in the swamp, maybe doing guerrilla warfare in the swamp. And I want to keep doing that on behalf of the people of the 2nd District.
I lived in Virginia while I was in the Navy, right? I told you, I was just telling you this, but down in the Tidewater region. So you get up near the Beltway. Oh, it's miserable. I feel sorry for the fact that you're even running.
Yeah, it is a literal swamp. I think some
Yeah.
people don't realize that, especially this time of year. Not a very pleasant place to be.
Yeah, well, you go through the historical records of the Washington City, and some of the first and earliest deaths occurring were because of malaria.
Yeah.
It was built on a swamp.
Yeah, there's a reason that when they went in the room where it happened, that land was still available.
So this will be our last question.
Okay.
You went through a very competitive primary,
Yes.
and your message resonated with voters. And from my perspective, I'd say you have a mandate to put your vision out there and to make it happen from day one.
Yes.
What do you feel voters want you to do, and what do you think you'll be able to get done? I just from my background, you'll probably be able to get more done off the bat than most any other freshman senator or representative.
I certainly hope so. But the thing that I've been talking about the most, the thing that seems to resonate the most, and it doesn't matter where in the district I am, people are sick and tired of federal overreach. They want the federal government to be less involved in their lives, and they want the federal government to spend less of their money and to take less of their money in the first place to spend. So I feel like that's my mandate. My mandate is to cut spending and to use the power of the purse, to use the tools available to the legislative branch to cut back that executive branch overreach and involvement in people's lives.
Well, I love it.
Well, that's it for us. So we're still getting our sea legs underneath us because this is probably you're only the fourth person we interviewed. We had we had two individuals who were running for the House district special election, and when this comes out, that may or may not have happened because we're still trying to chop that together. But we're getting our sea legs under us, so we don't have smooth transitions yet.
That's great. I'm learning myself, so the fact that we're all doing this together makes it a little easier.
Well, Doctor, we're going to go over the news real fast for the party, and we'd like to thank Celeste Maloy for coming on. For party news, everyone is reminded that on Monday, September 25th, House District 26 will be holding a virtual town hall. On Thursday, September 28th, House District 26 candidates will be meeting for the delegates to do a meet and greet. That's at West Valley Library at 2880 West, 3650 South. That's 2880 West, 3650 South, West Valley City. The book club will also be meeting on that day, and if you would like to talk about the books or find out the books that the party is putting out there and reading, you can contact the vice chair, Mackie Smith. His contact information is on the party website. Additionally, on Wednesday, October 4th at 5:30 is the House District 26 special election at the Neil Armstrong Academy at 3194 Highbury Parkway at West Valley City. That's 3194 Highbury Parkway in West Valley City. Delegate registration will be from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. and special election will start at 6:30 p.m. Additionally, Monday, October 9th is Columbus Day, and we'd like to wish you a happy Columbus Day. October 7th at 7 p.m. is the County Executive Committee meeting to be held at the Holiday Library. We don't do a lot of fun stuff there, but we do stuff. October 11th at noon will be the E-Club luncheon. I don't know, have we confirmed who the...
Nope.
Okay, so we haven't confirmed who the guest will be, but the 6:30 at 6:30 at the IHOP on State Street in Murray, the Bylaws Committee will also be meeting. Saturday, October 28th is the next State Central Committee meeting. I haven't seen the agenda on that, but that's the date that'll occur. You can log into the state party website. You can find out what the State Central Committee has been doing as far as resolutions it's passed, amendments that it's voted on, who the members are, who your members are, and how to contact them. And this has been the Salt Lake County Republican Party broadcast, and we would like to thank you for listening.